Uh, oh, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I've had a really awesome session of D&D. I won't get into it too much, but let's just say my girlfriend died in it, and in the end, she was blaming me that I killed her. What really happened was, a bunch of guys completely turned on me. I almost died. I activated my bracer, boom, slipped out of the dimension, drank a potion as, she comes in, pumps a couple arrows into them. They get on her, start attacking her. I'm drinking my potion, healing up, watching her die. So I'm like, okay, I got to time this so I can get healed enough so I can act. Because I'm a sorcerer, I can get killed so quick. So I pop out, or I go to pop out, make a mistake, right? I'm about to like combust this guy. It's a touch-based spell, and it because I had my my bracer activated, I go to touch him, nothing happens, right? So I lose my freaking turn. It was ridiculous. So I had to wait the next time. I freaking roll. I miss. I'm rolling like twos and threes, like 2 or 3 times. I was trying to blow this guy to smithereens to save my friend, and I just couldn't do it. So, stuff happens. She actually ends up dying, like just barely. And, you know, sucked. But after she died, on the bright side, found the caravan that we were hauling. I found a cloak in it. Identified it. It was a really sweet cloak. Gives me plus $3 resistances. It's awesome. It's like green. It's like silver lining with a fat collar. Um, and then I put it on. And it like weighs me down. We do all this crap. Figure out there's something in the pocket, and it's not just something. It's like special. It's like a cigar case. Open it up. There's cards in it. I was not going to open this thing up. It was too sketchy feeling. It had like evil looking gambling stuff on the outside. Anyways, my rogue friend who just doesn't give a crap kind of snatches out my hand, takes it, and he's like, I'll take it. He goes to open it, and like he sees cards, and he goes to pick one, but he actually has to figure out how many cards he's going to pick. He decides to pick five. These cards pretty much like they could kill you or they can make you powerful. It's a total gamble based thing. He got really lucky, and even though he like lost some really crazy things like stats for the whole life of his character, he got some really sweet things. One of them, he gets 3 freaking wishes. He can wish for 3 things, and hopefully one of those wishes will be to resurrect uh, the person that I was trying to save. So, for a really sweet D&D session. I know it's nerdy, I know it's dorky, but it's fun. Imagination is fun. Okay, there's also European Film Festival recently. I went to go see a romantic comedy there, which it wasn't very romantic or very comedy, but it was still worth it because it was free. I enjoyed that. Also, we've got this weird like maple bacon cheddar sandwich. It was sweet. I wish it wasn't sweet. If they used normal bacon, it would have been way better. But it was really good otherwise. And I had like a frozen like smoothie drink that was really good. Strawberry banana. That was good. Uh oh yeah. There's like a hurricane coming to get us. They name it Ike. I guess there's been that many hurricanes prior to it. I was watching CNN. I saw them showing a clip of some people like praying. They had their hands up, kind of like this, like to like the clouds. I assume in the direction the hurricane was coming, and they were praying for it to go away or to have divert its course. Uh, which immediately I'm like, huh? Because I'm thinking, okay, if I went over and asked these people, do you believe God created the earth and obviously the systems in it that govern its operation, the wind and whatnot? They would say, yes, of course, God created the earth, no problem. I'd also ask them, do you think that God knows best? I also think that they would answer that question in the affirmative. So I'm sitting here thinking, what? Like, how can you hold those two beliefs and then just be like, and then try to be like, divert the hurricane as if God obviously set it in motion at some point in time in the causal chain. Um, like didn't know what he's doing. Like either they're having this affront to God's foreknowledge or knowing what's best by saying, no, no, you don't know what's best. The hurricane should not go here. We're here. It should go over there. Uh, I don't know what they're thinking. This discussion with myself just prompted another discussion with someone I really care about, and she actually mentioned the existence of unnecessary evils. I'm like, no, no, no. You don't want to admit to unnecessary evil existing because then your God is at least partially evil or doesn't exist, and you have to like redefine him to having partial evil. So it's like, look, you don't want unnecessary evils. You gotta have necessary evils. Necessary being like free will or lead to a greater good, that sort of thing. That's an acceptable evil. But unnecessary, by definition, they're unnecessary. A good God would not permit them. But that wasn't the cool part. The cool part that I was thinking about is how there can be like a cognitive conflict that arises in the mind when one holds a belief that God exists, and God knows best, and can interact with the universe that you find yourself in. Used Noah's Ark and the flooding, right? Well, God exists. God caused the flood. As a believer, when you're in the water, I would think that if you did believe that God knows best, then you shouldn't try to swim. You should just drown because his intentions are quite obvious. He wants you to drown. So the believer, the rational believer, would not swim, not try to save his life because that's contrary to God's will, obviously, or at least the perception of what God's will is. So you shouldn't swim. But so many of us swim. So how do we explain that we swim? There's a couple ways out of that one, but we still made some progress, and in a hypothetical I posed to her, she actually realized what I was trying to say as far as having two agents with two separate wills. You, as an agent, hold the belief that the other agent has a 100% certainty on where a single object, which you both could manipulate, should go. You think, oh, it could go over here, or it could go over there. But God knows the place where it should go. So, basically, the example is to try and demonstrate if you don't have 100% certainty of where it should go, and you hold the belief that there's a being that exists who does have 100% certainty of where it should go, and has the ability to move it to that location, then you should not act, because, well, it'd be irrational. Because, obviously they can put it where it needs to go. She countered with, what did she counter with? Oh, well, you need to actually learn that way. Like, you need to learn by doing. But I'm like, well, moving the object, the only thing you're going to learn is the experience of moving an object. And if you move it in the wrong place, you'll learn that regardless. The only time you learn something that's perhaps significant would be where the object goes. Basically, learning what God's will is. But that's wholly independent of you moving it in the right place or not. So it didn't really work. Regardless, for you to actually learn that sort of a knowledge, you simply just have to see God do it. I don't know, it was really fun, and I get what you usually don't get, which is a little bit of success rate at the end when she said to me, yeah, but if you, yeah, how'd you say it? Like, but if that was the case, we would never do anything. And I was like, exactly. That's the whole issue. The issue that would arise in the mind. Like, how do you act in this universe when you have another agent with the power? Blah, 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 yap, yap, yap. This isn't about God. This is my freaking first web blog, video blog. Hopefully it was okay. I don't know how to edit either, so we'll see. Bye.